would like to call to order the Norwood City School District Board of Education regular board meeting for April 15, 2021. The Norwood City School District Board of Education follows a bi-monthly meeting schedule. The first meeting of the month is called our committee meeting. At this meeting, we discuss fully our agenda for the board meeting to be held the first Thursday of each month. As board members, we encourage you to attend, watch, and listen our committee discussion, which results in actions at the board meetings. For full disclosure, our committee meetings and board meetings are always announced, video and audio tape, as well as posted to our webpage for your view. All of our meetings are public and visitors are welcome. Mrs. Campos, please call the roll. Present.
Faber?
Present.
Mrs. Rarica?
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 1.04 on our agenda is the adoption of tonight's agenda. I would like to make a motion that we adopt the agenda as written.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion about tonight's agenda? Mrs. Campos, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
All right, with that, our agenda has been adopted for tonight. Items 1.05, 1.06, and 1.07 are all minutes. Minutes for the March 18th meeting, minutes for the special meeting on April 6th, and minutes from the committee meeting on April 6th. I would like to make a motion that we approve all 3 minutes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Campos, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
All right, moving on to section 2, which is presentations. And we'll have our Rising Star students for the month of April.
To President Atwood, we are pleased to announce this month's Rising Star students. Starting with Norwood High School Rising Star Mckenzie Diaz Romero. Norwood High School is proud to recognize freshman Mckenzie Diaz Romero as April Rising Star Award recipient. Mckenzie puts forth great effort in all of her classes in order to learn as much as possible. Mckenzie has a positive attitude and is always willing to help other students. Mr. Lawler said, "It is a privilege to teach Mckenzie, and I know she'll be successful in whatever she sets out to accomplish." Mckenzie has attended Norwood School since kindergarten. As a freshman, she joined and participated in the tennis program. Her other hobbies include music and drawing, and she plans on exploring her course options as she continues in Norwood High School. Mckenzie is a great representative of Norwood High School. Congratulations, Mckenzie. Our next Rising Star student is actually with us tonight. Nina, would you like to come forward for just a moment? Okay, we're going to say some nice things about you.
The Norwood Middle School Rising Star is Nina Mckenzie. Norwood Middle School is proud to announce Nina Mckenzie as the April Student of the Month. As an 8th grader at the middle school, Nina makes it her personal goal to demonstrate all of the school's pride and PACS behaviors in the way she consistently treats everyone around her with respect. As a member of honors classes at the middle school, she works to the very best of her ability and has earned straight A's for the year. Along with her academic efforts, Nina was an active member of the swim team this year. In her spare time, Nina is a creative writer. She has even penned her first novel. Nina plans to attend college at the University of Cincinnati or a college of her choice in Canada. She hopes to earn a degree in acting or creative writing. Norwood Middle School expects great things from Nina Mckenzie in the future, and it's people like her that make Norwood Middle School a Hall of Fame school and Norwood City School District great.
Congratulations, Nina. Sharpsburg Rising Star is Skylar Mullins. The fourth grade teachers are proud to announce Skylar Mullins as a rising star. Skylar loves learning and is always searching for ways to grow as a learner. While she enjoys all of her classes, Skylar's favorite class is language arts. She loves to read and enjoys learning new words. She really loves working with figurative language and using her imagination to write stories. When she's not working on her learning, Skylar spends time caring for her 6 pet cats and her new puppy Gizmo. Skylar also loves spending time watching Disney movies with her grandmother. Skylar is truly a phenomenal student with a strong work ethic and a keen desire to learn. Her willingness to work hard to achieve academic success is truly outstanding. Skylar displays perseverance and self-discipline on a daily basis in and out of the classroom. Skylar keeps herself actively engaged in her own learning, not only in the classroom, but as she learns at home as well. She is a natural leader in the classroom and a skilled problem solver. Congratulations, Skylar.
The Norwood View Rising Star for the month of April is Marylee Silva Martinez. This month, Norwood View Rising Star is kindergarten student Marylee Silva Martinez. Marylee comes to school each day with a smile on her face and ready to learn. Marylee always tries her best, and she has worked hard to meet her academic goals. She completes all of her classwork and homework in a timely manner. Marylee is loved by all of her friends and adored by all of her teachers. She is polite, helpful to others, and she leads the class with her model behavior. Marylee loves to draw and color. She is creative, artistic, kind, and hardworking. We are proud to call Marylee our Norwood View Rising Star.
Williams Avenue Elementary Rising Star Isabel Ho. Our rising star for Williams Avenue Elementary is kindergartner Isabel Ho. Isabel is a ray of sunshine in her class. She always has a positive attitude and is kind to everyone she meets. Isabel has a very good work ethic and is an excellent leader in the classroom. Isabel comes to school each day with a smile in her eyes, prepared and ready to learn. Isabel is a PAX leader in and out of the classroom. Isabel works hard to achieve her goals and is becoming a great reader. Her favorite subject in school is reading because she says it's fun to read. Her favorite book is Green Eggs and Ham. Her favorite thing to do is cruise. And her most memorable place she has visited is Punta Cana. She loves making crafts and playing soccer. Isabel wants to be a teacher when she grows up, she said, because it would be fun to teach. Isabel has a very bright future ahead of her, and we can't wait to see all the wonderful things she will accomplish. Keep up the good work, Isabel. We are so proud of you.
The Norwood Virtual Program Rising Star is Malaya French. It is an honor and privilege to know and teach such an amazing young woman like Malaya French. Malaya is an 8th grader who is part of our online program. She is truly dedicated to her education. She goes above and beyond in all that she does. Her outstanding grades and her diligence in completing work, not just on time, but usually ahead of time, are due to her self-motivation and outstanding work ethic. Malaya attends a Google Meet daily to check in and ask questions or get clarification. She does this not because she has to, but because she wants to do everything possible to do well. She also attends an extra Google Meet on Wednesdays and Thursdays for 1 hour to ensure she is prepared for the state math test. She does all this with a kind heart and a beautiful smile. She is definitely a rising star. Congratulations, Malaya.
Congratulations to all of our rising stars. We're so happy to report them to you, and we're happy that we had one guest with us tonight. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mckenzie family. Yeah, the whole family.
Yeah, a big congratulations to all of our rising stars from March to April. Moving on in our agenda, section 3 is the Education Committee report, and I would like to hand this over to board member Mrs. Raber. However, I think this is going to end up falling to Superintendent Ronan.
Do you want to?
Yes, I will. Yes, thank you. I will be more than glad to start. Last week, the Ohio Department of Education notified us that the Ohio legislature passed legislation last year which allowed the 600 plus school districts in the state of Ohio the flexibility to implement virtual instruction. Currently, there is no legislation that is impending that is going to allow us to continue. So right now, all 600 plus school districts in the state of Ohio have been told that virtual education is not an option the way things stand unless a bill is introduced and passed. So right now we are reassigning. There's 12 teachers in our virtual program. We have about 300 students left, down from, I think it was 550 at the start of the school year. And we are assigning them back to their school buildings to cover the classes that we anticipate will be full with returning children in August. So I just wanted to let the board know that that's occurring, and we are going to have to, let our parents in the virtual program know this. And what we're doing is, in case there were a few families, and we anticipate there might be 10 or 20 families who wish to continue, we're reaching out to the Hamilton County ESC and the Butler County ESC. Butler County ran a virtual program this year, and they are allowed by the state to continue because they're under different guidelines than regular public school districts, to see if they are going to continue, and if we had some parents who wanted to, could we pay tuition to allow those families to go? So that's where it stands right now, and I just wanted to really get a feel from the board, because we're going to need to put this in a letter to explain it to the 300 remaining families, because we're almost at the end of the school year. So does that sound like a viable alternative to look for at Hamilton and Butler County ESC and see if we can get any families who are interested into their program? If anyone, we do not anticipate, other districts are saying maybe 1% of their population is still interested. So it's a small number, but if 20 or 30 districts combine their students, it makes enough for one virtual school at the county level. So that's where things stand right now. So that's why I'm trying to get a read of the board. Is that okay to explain all of this to our virtual families so they know what's happening for August? Because I feel they're going to start asking questions any day now.
Yeah, for me, that's fine. I don't have any issues with that. But I do think some of the other board members may have some questions.
Oh, I was going to just say I'm really happy that there are options when the state is telling us no, that there are options for us, and
So then if everyone's agreeable, I will pursue. I know Christina has put in a call to Butler County because they ran a program this year. Hamilton County did not, so they really are just surveying us, the 24 districts in Hamilton County, asking, do you think you'd be interested? Because they're trying to gauge if they'll have enough students to run a program. But either way, I figure we have two choices, and we'll keep looking for possibilities because we know there are going to be a few families who will probably wish to continue.
Is this use the voucher program for payment, or where does that money come from?
Oh, it'll come out of our general fund. I mean, we'll have to pay it us. So.
We don't know what kind of price tag we're looking at.
I do not know. We do not know yet. So I'll bring that back the minute we know. So no, I don't know price. I don't even know if it's a possibility. But Butler County, I would guess if they've already run it, have teachers hired, and there's enough interest, would probably continue it since they're allowed to, since they're an ESC, an Education Service Center at the county level. So they have different guidelines and rules than regular public schools do. So we'll get back with you, and hopefully we can find out in the next few weeks, because I would love to include that in the letter to the parents, and then they would know what their options are for next year.
I know CPS is saying that they have an option. Are they going with Butler County?
They have, believe it or not, Cincinnati Public had a virtual school that predates
Oh, right. They had
the
one before.
legislation that said public school districts aren't allowed to have a virtual school. Because I did encounter that situation and had to explain that we had been grandfathered in because the district had started one probably 15 or 20 years ago. So they have the Cincinnati Digital Academy that has been out there, like I said, 15 or 20 years.
Wow.
Long before the legislation that said we couldn't. So that's why they have something that that the other 23 remaining districts in Hamilton County aren't allowed to start.
Would that be something we could partner with as well? Or thinking about the program could we partner with Cincinnati for just the online program?
Well, actually, we could. That is a possibility, because I know that CPS has open enrollment, so they do allow students from surrounding districts to attend. So you're right, that could be another possibility. And it's called the Cincinnati Digital Academy. It's located down in downtown Cincinnati. So that could be a third possibility. So then I get the feeling we'll move forward, let the parents know what their options are, and I will let you know the minute we find out what's happening with the county ESCs.
I just like that program has been established and it's local. If they need resources, they're right there.
Exactly. And they actually do have, it's not all online, they do have teachers physically located downtown if students do need some extra assistance. Or at least they used to, so. All right, well, thank you very much. I feel we've got direction on which way to go.
Perfect. Thank you, Superintendent Ronan. Moving on in our agenda, section 4 is personnel. So I'm going to go right back to Superintendent Ronan.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much, President Atwood. Let's see here. Number 4.01, Retirement and Resignations. We have one retirement, Raylyn Burton, and I want to thank her for her 30-plus years of service in the Norwood City School District, and she was also our Teacher of the Year last year, so she will be missed. Then we have a teacher who's leaving us to go elsewhere, and Serena Hill is going to work with Mr. Kipp, who left for other employment. And we have two of our teachers a teacher and one of our educational aides who have requested a leave of absence for next year.
All right, I would like to ask that, or I'd like to make a motion that we accept the retirement, resignation, and leave of absence as written.
I'll second.
Any discussion on these? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
All right, Superintendent Ronan, that continues on to 4.02.
All right, thank you. 4.02 is our reduction in force resolution. This is a motion to approve a reduction in force for our food service staff due to fiscal reasons effective June 2nd, 2021. And it's understood that all accrued wages and benefits will continue through August 31st. This is because we are entering a shared services agreement with other districts to gain economies of scale. You will notice later in the next section, 3 of our food service staff are already are up for approval to be hired in other positions, and Milford is interviewing the remaining staff and to hire to continue to work in our cafeterias for next year.
I'd like to motion that we accept as written.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on this reduction in force resolution? And, this is just the last piece because we did the other piece where we entered into agreement with Milford. So this is just the last remaining piece of this piece of work. Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
With that, the resolution is passed, and we'll move on to 4.03. Superintendent Report.
Thank you. In 4.03, number 1 is the recommendation to approve Herbert Chuck Richardson as our new AD. Mr. Richardson attended last week's meeting for a meet and greet. Chuck rose to the top of the 65 candidates who were interviewed by a team including alumni, administrators, teachers, coaches, and Board of Education members. So we are delighted to welcome Mr. Richardson, Chuck, as our new AD effective July 1st, 2021. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's our summer school staff we're approving because obviously we need to do some remediation this summer because, with the year we've had with the pandemic, we are inviting any child who would like to come for summer enrichment. We have staff to work with them this summer. Number 3 is we're hiring 2 health aides to replace individuals who retired last year, and these are 2 of our individuals of our food service staff who've been interviewed and we're hiring in those positions. Number 4 is another one of our food service staffs who we are hiring to translate and do parent outreach for our ELL students. And number 5 is extended summer hours for our secretary in our athletic department. And I think we have one more, number 6, and that is Avenues for Success. We are hiring an additional 4 and after school staff members.
I'll motion. I'll motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the employment recommendations?
Welcome,
Mrs.
Chuck.
Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
With that, those have been approved by the board, and we're going to move right along on our agenda to section 5, which is our policy committee report, and I would like to hand over to board member Mrs. Rarica.
Oh, that's me. Okay, we have some policies. They are conveniently grouped for me in 3 different sections. The first, BCFA, the Business Advisory Council to the board, will state that we'll be working with Great Oaks, and it's kind of exciting. I like that one. The others have very small, GA, GCD, IG, CG have very small changes, adding the word registered with license, certified, etc., getting tested for TB, just small changes like that. The next 3, GCB2, IF, and IGT only have legal reference changes. And then the next 4, all GBRAs, are all policies that were created for the COVID plan from the state, and now those are finished and we have to just formally rescind them. And that should be it, right? Get them all? Yes.
All right, is that everything?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we have the first reading for the policies as outlined in our agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion on these policies? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
With that, the first reading has been approved, and we'll have the second reading and adoption of these policy changes next month. Moving on our agenda, we have section 6, which is the Building and Grounds Committee, and I would like to hand it over to Board Member Nicole.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we have one request this month. This is from the Little Annie Athletic Organization. So if anybody's not aware, this is a youth football program that provides football for ages 5 to 12. And they are requesting Shea Stadium, the stands, concessions, and mezzanine for various Saturdays in the fall from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they have cleared their dates already with the athletic department.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raper?
Yes.
Mrs. Rare?
Yes.
With that, the facility request has been approved. And we'll move right on to section 7, our agenda, which is the Finance Committee. And I would like to turn this over to our treasurer, Mrs. Camphouse.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have been working on the May 5-year forecast that I will present to the board on our May 11th, 2021 committee board meeting. We will discuss this in detail at the Finance Committee before the committee meeting also. My CFO report and the March financials are attached for your review and approval tonight. Also included in the CFO report is the real estate tax increase and valuation study explaining why real estate taxes increased this spring. This report is attached to the agenda tonight and is also available as a link on our website under Administration, then Treasurer, then on the top right side of my page. All active construction change order listings are attached for your review tonight to the agenda and approval, as well as the student count summary. On the agenda, 7.02 is the appropriation resolution, our current budget. 7.03, acceptance of amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission. The Hamilton County Auditor's Budget Commission has set the tax rates for next year, and this resolution approves them. 7.04, the CenterPoint Health change order that we talked about last week. We did get that order in yesterday. This order will approve the drop ceilings in the health clinic at the high school so that we can get the inspection approved and take occupancy of the health clinic after the work is done. 7.05, the lease agreement with CenterPoint. This lease agreement is the formal agreement for the health clinic. 7.06, Bradley Payne Advisors. This is a fiscal agreement to provide guidance to the district on possible refunding of our original construction debt from 2016. In 7.07, the technology disposals, equipment disposals will be sold or recycled that are no longer needed from the district. And that is it for finance.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve finance items 7.01 through 7.07 as outlined in the agenda.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on any of the finance items?
I just want to say publicly, hey, CenterPoint Health is making not a doctor's office, we call it a health office in the high school. There are lots of people out in the public who don't know that. Amber and I just went to see it, and that was for the first time. I was so impressed. And we had another Norwood resident with us, and she said, I've been talking to people and they don't know. So, hey, we've got a health center in the high school. Woo! Just to say it again.
Yeah, this will be a really great way for families who need medical care to not have to schedule doctor's appointments across town, take time out of their day to take their kid down for their sports physicals, for routine vaccinations, for just a dental checkup. There are 2 really awesome, fully equipped dental assistant chairs in there, as well as the medical facility. So it's such a functional space. You can bring your children of all ages are able to have appointments scheduled here, and you can bring your children to the high school to take advantage of the doctor's offices right here, right in this building, which is just fantastic.
And kids can go there during the school day too? Like
Yes.
Still a
come out of
nurse's
class,
office, too.
have an appointment and go back?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the parent doesn't have to come up, take the child out to go to a doctor's appointment. If the parent has signed a permission form, the child can be seen during school hours, during the school day.
That is so cool.
And it still functions as the regular nurse's office, so if your child does get sick, or if they need regular medication and they have to see the nurse for that, they can still use the same space as they always have.
And the medication dispensing machine was really cool. I didn't know what it was. Amber had to tell me.
They have a thumbprint encoded medical dispensing unit back there for vaccinations and medications, so that way they're safely off in a secure space. So kids can't just wander in there and find a drawer full of medication. You don't have to worry about that. Everything's locked up and secure. They've done a great job.
And I'd like to thank all three board members for tonight who were interviewed for the video. So it will be marketed. That is the plan of Centerpoint, that they will put together a video, we can put it on our website, and it's really to help get the word out. So thank you so much for being interviewed.
It was fun.
All right, any other discussion? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raver?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
All right, with that, the finance items have been approved. We're going to move on to section 8 in our agenda, which is the hearing of the public. Seen anything come through our public email address? I don't know if anybody is in person to address the board. Okay, so we'll move on to section 9 of our agenda, which is our individual reports. So 9.01 is board announcements. Does any of the board members have anything they would like to share?
Please keep picking up lunches on Mondays and Thursdays if your child is not in school, 10 to 10:45.
All right, 9.02, Superintendent's Report, Superintendent Ronan.
Thank you. I would like to remind everyone that our Fine Arts Expo is being held this Sunday, April 18th, starting at 1 p.m. You know, it was canceled last year, so we're so excited. We'll have musical performances, artwork on display throughout the high school. Then, right after the Fine Arts display at Expo at 3 o'clock, our Midsummer's Night Dream will be performed, our play, outside in the area between the high school and the middle school. And in fact, I think we all saw all the students practicing as we were coming into the meeting tonight.
And Friday and Saturday too, right?
Yeah, they
Yes.
have shows Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, also on Friday and Saturday, yes.
It's free. Come
It's
support
free
the
and
kids.
it's outside, and it'll
Bring
be a
a
lot of
lawn
fun.
chair. 5
And
o'clock on Friday.
they're also going to be streaming it as well, so if it's a little bit too chilly to bring the kids out, feel free to stream it live. Thanks to NCT for doing that.
Thank you, Tyler. Also, on Tuesday, April 20th, our state superintendent, Paolo Di Maria, he'll be visiting the high school at 2 p.m. And I'd like to invite any board member who'd like to attend the reception in the library. He's actually coming to see the Chow and Tell video program that Layla Kabesh, our Ohio 2020 Teacher of the Year, she is actually teaching students how to cook healthy meals for their siblings, especially this year when they were home 3 days a week. So I believe we are in for a treat with a cooking demo by the students. So it's 2 o'clock Tuesday in the library. So we'd love for board members to be there and talk to the state superintendent.
Tuesday the 20th?
Yes.
Is 2 p.m. the reception portion?
Yes, 2 o'clock. And we're going to meet in the library.
Library, okay.
And then I think she's going to take them to the middle school where we have an old home ec room where the students can actually do the show. And I have to thank Tyler again. He has been videotaping the Chow and Tell demos of the students. So thanks again. And that concludes my report.
Perfect. Thank you, Superintendent Ronan. Next is 9.03, the Grade Oaks Report. Vice President Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have had a very fun and exciting month in the Oaks. Last month kicked off with the birth of 3 foals in our equine program. It's one of the most popular programs that we have at the Oaks, and it's so much fun. The kids get more involved with it than any other. They stayed up all night with the horses to welcome these little guys into the world. They even had a special event recently during our open house to welcome the foals and for interested students to come and see what the program was about. So they had advisors there to talk about what the equine program was all about, as well as to introduce the new foals. We've also reached a record enrollment despite the pandemic. Our numbers keep rising, but despite rising efforts, we still have plenty of programs that need students. One of the biggest ones is the CNC machining program. People forget, they think machining is the old-fashioned factory metalworking, and they don't know that it involves so much technology, so much computer understanding, programming, and there are so many jobs available for it. So if you're thinking about going into a machining field and you still want something that's tech savvy, CNC machining could be a really great opportunity to walk out of your graduation day with a job in your hand. So we are still taking applications for enrollment. We'll be doing enrollment up through September 4th. So it's not closed. We just started opening it, and some classes are already full. So if you are interested in potentially checking out a program, we can still get you with an advisor to come and look at these. You can do tours all summer long. And still, if you're on the fence about deciding, you have until September to get that decision in. In addition to what we're doing for getting kids enrolled, we're also saying goodbye to some of our students with graduation coming up. Our graduation week is going to be May 18th through the 20th for every building, including our Project Search, which is our adult programs. They'll all be graduating that week. Scarlet graduation for our students will be on May 19th at 6:30, and they're hosting it outdoors on Scarlet Oaks property near our burn building, which they just finished building a couple of months ago. If it rains, they'll move it inside, and they'll be splitting graduation into 2 groups so that we can be COVID compliant. So if you do have a student at Scarlet that is graduating, please keep an eye on the weather so that you know exactly where to go, and we'll make sure to keep that updated. But plan on graduation 6:30 by the burn building for your Scarlet student. We also announced our nominating committee selection to choose the next board leadership for next year, and I have been selected as part of that committee to help choose leadership for next year. And that concludes our report.
Thank you, Vice President Ballard. Next is 9.04, the Norwood Community Television Board Report. Board Member Mrs. Cole.
Thank you, Mr. President. So we've touched on 2 of these already. So the first one is Show and Tell, as we've already discussed. They've shot at least 22 episodes for this that teaches the teen basic skills. I saw actually a video this afternoon of how to make chocolate pudding. So now I know how to do that. So very interesting. Also, you already have mentioned that they'd be streaming the live stream of Midsummer's Night Dream. So again, that's Friday and Saturday at 5:30 and Sunday at 3 o'clock. So that will be also streamed. And then Avenues for Success, Norwood Community Television is continuing with their club, and they've also been shooting footage of the other after-school clubs for the end of the year event for Avenues for Success. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. 9.05 is the OSBA legislative report. Board Member Mrs. Rayburn.
I did sign House Bill 67, which provides some flexibility for testing and graduation requirements for the current school year. Among other things, it exempts schools from administering an American History end-of-course exam. It permits 11th or 12th graders to use final course grades in lieu of exam grades to satisfy conditions for diplomas, and it permits districts to grant diplomas to any student on track to graduate, and for who the principal consults with teachers and counselors and determine that they have successfully completed their high school curriculum or an IEP. In addition to that, some bills that were introduced, House Bill 200, as well as Senate Bill 145, both are looking at the state report card. They kind of have some different things that they would each change. So the House Bill 200, it would eliminate the prepared for success component as one of the graded measures that would determine, the final score. It also eliminates the A through F grade scale, and instead would just kind of give performance ratings on each section that would go from in need of support to like significant, like excel significantly. And then the Senate bill would kind of change some of the weights that are used to calculate the final grade. So definitely something that we will be looking at in the coming months to see how that gets changed, hopefully
Good,
in our favor.
right?
Yes, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Weber. 9.06 is the Avenues for Success report.
I was gonna
Mrs.
say-
Weber.
I hope if they do those narratives and say that they're in need of support, that they actually give support where it's needed. Okay, so Avenue for Success is working with Keep Norwood Cool to implement a climate club for summer camp. Our students will use instruments provided by KNC, Keep Norwood Cool, to measure the temperatures around the campus and various locations to be included in research data for the organization. The club will focus on our environment and ways we can improve our surroundings for increased health benefits. I have personally helped with the Keep Norwood Cool and worn the device that measures pollution, and it's so neat, and it shows you on a phone the pollution levels and all sorts of data. It's really, really neat. So the second thing is summer camp enrollment is open, so go sign your kids up. We will hold our camp at the Norwood Middle School campus. So right here at the middle school will be where the Avenues for Success camp is, and I know that I've seen some parents asking about this. It's right here at the middle school. And their Girls STEM Bike Club has begun. They have 3 mentors from P&G and 1 retired NCSD teacher from here. I would guess that's Larry. He loves bikes. It doesn't say though. And that's all for the Avenue Success report.
Thank you, Mrs. America. Item 10 on our agenda is future meeting notifications. Looks like we have on our schedule our next committee meeting for May 11th at 6 p.m. In the same space that we currently are. And then the regular board meeting is scheduled for May 20th at 6 p.m. Here at the middle school. We will more than likely add a special meeting to the May 11th committee meeting. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the May 11th and May 20th future meetings.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on these dates?
Do you want to do the special meeting before or after?
So I would like to have the special meeting before the committee meeting. There are some timely things that need to happen at that special meeting because city council is meeting on the same day, just at 7:30. And so we'll need to do our business before they do their business.
Do you need 5:30 or do we need more time?
No, we can do it at 6. We can do it at 6.
Oh, okay. Just do it first.
We'll just do the special meeting first.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure it was on my calendar.
Yep. Any other discussion? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Raber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
With that, those future dates have been approved. There are no items approved for separate consideration, so that brings us to the last agenda item, and that is adjournment. Would anyone like to motion to adjourn?
I'll motion we adjourn. I'll second then.
Any discussion on adjourning? Mrs. Camphouse, please call the roll.
Mr. Atwood?
Yes.
Ms. Ballard?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Rayber?
Yes.
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
With that, we are adjourned. Thank you all so much for your time and your dedication to the school district.